Right, welcome to another episode of the Powerful Eyes podcast. Today we have breathwork specialist and trauma specialist, Joby. I forgot, I'm going to have to go again because I was going to say properly.
No, but it's good. Keep it Bowie.
Joby Bowley.
Everyone gets my surname wrong, so don't worry. Brand new book is here. The hard copy and the ebook have actually just been approved. They are up on Amazon now. The paperback is May the 1st. But this is up.
Yeah, it's mad. I've known you for quite some years and I've never got it right.
No. Some of my closest friends don't either, so you're okay. I love
you. Every time I say, Joby Broughley, they go, no, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Joby, I'd love to just obviously share your story today. I want to take you right from the beginning. I know you've had a multitude of events and eventful happenings.
Could say that.
But, let's take it right from the beginning, where you grew up.
Absolutely. So I grew up around in Hertfordshire. I used to be a scaffolder, and one day I was working on a site, and then I was working up on a big tower block, big 70-foot tower block, and guys were like, lunchtime, go get the teas. I always talk about the building site, Yeah, of course, I'll go and get the teas. So I come down, and all of a sudden, one of the guys shouted out, he was like, can you throw me up another big bucket of fittings? So I pulled it up, 70 foot, and we had a guy with us brand new, hadn't been with us for about a week, but he pulled the bucket from inside, and he tipped the bucket, and then all of the fittings come raining down like cats and dogs, and smashed my head. So I broke my skull, and I had to have brain surgery. Left me with a big... Shall I take the hat off now?
Let's have a look, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm left with a big dent, disfigured. It completely changed my life. And even just talking about it now, it gets a little bit emotional because of what I went through. It's 2 years of absolute darkness, being disfigured, the whole life got flipped upside down.
How old was you?
I was about 26. It was just one of these where the anxiety, the stress, the trauma that come with it was nothing I'd ever experienced before. And when I had the accident, basically, when the scaffold fitting hit me, I thought I was going to be blind. So I sort of blacked out, but I didn't get knocked down for some reason.
Oh, really? You stayed on your feet?
Stayed on my feet, even though it fell from 70 feet. It was like a bullet coming down.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what scaffold fitting is, it's a big round bit of metal like this where the two tubes go in, that goes on the outside of the building.
It's got to be a kilo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of weight. And when it hit me and I lost my vision, I was just like, shit, I'm going to be blind. Like, that scared the life out of me. I was like, I've lost my vision.
Did you collapse it in the end, or was it?
I did in the end, but the main thing was just like, get my sight back, get my sight back, get my sight back, get my sight back. And I just kept saying it. And all of a sudden, boom, it come in. And all of a sudden, I was just see blood pouring down me. And then I realised I've been whacked on the head. This is not good.
I obviously know all that.
Well, to be fair, I looked up and I'd been pulling on the rope for 70 foot and it slipped back. So it only slipped back a little bit.
But
enough for it to impact and it's called the frontal cortex here. So the frontal cortex is where we make all our decisions. It's like I had to have 2 years worth of neurological programming again. I lost loads of memory. I lost like all childhood memories, and all of a sudden it just 2 or 3 years later it come back from.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a car.
Wow.
I was in the back of a car, and all of a sudden these childhood memories come back, and I went, shit. remember again.
That's mental.
Yeah. I went for a long time. I couldn't remember my childhood.
What happened? I mean, obviously you rushed to hospital.
Yeah, so I was rushed to hospital, and the guy who shouted out, bring us a bucket up, come running down actually, and wrapped his t-shirt around my head, and I think that really helped.
Was it properly gashed?
Yeah, it was. I lost a couple of pints of blood. It was just pouring out. I thought it was going to bleed out, to be honest. I ended up passing out, having a seizure. And then the ambulance took me. I don't remember anything. I literally got into the ambulance, and that was it. That was the last thing I remember. I woke up 2 days later. Listen to this, right? My mum and dad haven't spoken for 15 years at this point. I woke up, and I was at the end of my bed in the hallway, laughing. Literally, I caught them laughing. As my eyes opened, they were laughing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Have I gone back in time?
Like Freaky Friday.
Yeah. Hot Tough Time Machine. But it was one of these where I just was like, what is going on? I ended up having 49 metal staples in my head, holding my head together. I had all brain surgery, like major brain surgery. But what happened was I was working in Putney, and the actual brain hospital was in just near Hammersmith, so it's about 5 minutes away.
Touch.
Like, they said they was going to literally take me to Chase Farm from Putney. I wouldn't have made it.
No.
But it just so happens that one of the top brain surgeons in the whole world was working in the hospital that day and saved me.
Result.
And saved me.
Sometimes there's that little bit of fate. You know?
I was so close to the hospital, saved me, but they give me a 2% chance to live. They told my mum, like, you best prepare, but like, he's not coming
I take it that's actually smashed the skull.
Yeah, so basically what it did, it broke the bone. So they didn't put a plate in. What they did, they actually stitched the bone back together, and they pulled the bone out to a certain point where it could go, and then, yeah, they basically, it's like, welcome to my den. I've got so many stories. Oh, my God. I've had people sniffing drugs out of it, everything. Oh, yeah, when we used to live in Ibiza, I've had people, come on, it's my birthday, let me sniff a line out of it. When we used to be into drugs, it was like a thing. It was a build-up as well. Like, on your birthday, on my birthday, I'm going to have a line out of your den. But yeah, things we used to catch out. But after that 2 years, it just sent me into this dark, dark place. And I just remember being on my knees one day and just praying, help. I need help. And I was crying my eyes out.
Obviously you didn't work for 2 years.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything.
But was it hospital? You know, how long was you actually in hospital for? Because it must have been.
Yeah, listen to this, right? So they actually said I should have been in hospital for a minimum of 15 weeks. After the first 3 or 4 days, I was so hungry. There was a Pizza Express right opposite me. I could see it, and I went, I'm going to get a pizza. I was in my gown, I had big staples in, big black eyes.
Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, proper. So I walked over, I got a pizza, and I walked back into the hospital, and the professor was just like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm hungry.
He's like, you don't put pineapple on pizza. You get back in bed.
So I was just like, I needed to get some food. I was just like, I could see it. It was just staring at me for days. But during that time as well, like in the thing, my telly, and I had a little room, and my telly broke. Next door, there was like an old guy, and his telly was on, and he was asleep most of the day. So I went in and swapped the tellies around. And I literally swapped the tellies around, and so I could have a bit of entertainment. I was walking around, and the professor was like, "What are you doing? Like, you've had major brain surgery, and then you should not even be able to walk right now." he went, I can't understand how you're walking around with the brain surgery you've had. So most people have this, they can't walk for 4 months.
It's mental.
Yeah, and he was like, come on, let's go and do some tests. So we went and done some tests, and he started moving my body, and he was like, how are you doing this?
Did they come up with an actual answer?
No, he just said, you're a miracle.
Something they must have, obviously it must have missed something.
Yeah.
Whether it squeezes or that is obviously not.
He said it was 1 millimetre, it would have literally pierced.
Turned you off.
Yeah, done. But he said, he was quite fun actually. He was like a really, quite a young professor as well for the standard of what he was.
What hospital was this?
I forget the name of it now. It might have been, I think it was Hammersmith and Putney.
What?
I forget the name of the hospital. It's been 18 years now. Just one of my near-death misses in hospitals, which we're going to go into. But yeah, yeah. To be fair, I'm holding on to them now, dear life. I'm walking about in bubble wrap. But yeah, after that time, he just said, right, let's. To be fair, he said, if you can do this, you can go home. And he sent me home. And then I had to go back every week for tests. And then after about 2 years, he said I was doing all neurocognitive sessions, having to retrain numbers. It made me really sensitive to lights at the time. Lots of different stuff was going on within my body. I basically had to reprogram my mind. And that in itself was a journey. But it was 2 years after that, and then someone said to me, it was like, I think you should try meditation. I think you'd really like it. And it might help. Just be nice and calm and relaxed. So I went to a meditation evening, and it turned out that they did like shamanic work, shamanic healing, and so I just kept going back and back and back, and I just loved it.
I never realised that was such a long time ago that you got into all that.
Yeah.
Didn't realise it, and it makes sense because I think you nearly find God. I think it probably would make you that little bit more spiritual.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I've had like 6 or 7 near-death misses, and every time it's taken me closer to God.
Dangerously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it, because I always think when it comes to God, I think it is that it's almost hope. I believe with religion, religion gives people hope.
Yeah,
especially in near death or close to death.
Yeah, I think when you're in that situation and you've had as many near-death misses as I've had, and you keep getting saved, like what's going on? Like I've been run over, I've been squashed by a lorry. I got squashed in my lorry. I literally concertinaed into a car.
Actually, I do remember that.
5 years ago.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Literally, the lorry. I was coming down Hoddesdon, right by the Sun Pub, and I was only going 5 miles an hour. There's about 3 or 4 cars in front of me, so I wasn't doing anything. All of a sudden, this white juggernaut. I'm talking like with a great
one of the
big
ones, yeah, 40-tonner.
40-tonner. Just come bash me straight up into another car. Woman jumped out. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, it weren't me. I'm so sorry. And I got out and I started taking photos. Like, my car was literally concertinaed, and all of a sudden I went, I can't breathe. I was battered. And the police got there in about 5 minutes. They was there so quick. The woman rung them, and then they put me on the floor, and I was literally I was trying to breathe. So at the time I knew my breath work. So it was one of those where we've jumped a bit, but I'll come back in a second. It was one of those. It was like, oh, not another accident, please.
Someone don't want me to die.
Oh, please, that was just what was going through my head. But in that time, obviously, I was like, I've learned breath work in this time. So going from my meditation classes to learning to shamanic healing, led and opened me doors to actually meeting Billy, who you had on the podcast the other day. Me and Bill are really
Lovely
good friends
Bill,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, Bill's helped me with my healing tremendously. Like from what he went through as well, and what I've been through was quite a lot. And Bill, I got invited to a breathwork session with Bill. Many years ago now, and that night blew me away. Took me into
Opened your eyes.
Yeah. Like it was very, very profound, and that was what actually got me into breathwork.
Now I think there's a lot of people out there watching this who will go, "What are you talking about?" It's sort of a load of old bollocks.
Of
I
course
said to you earlier, 3 years ago, I would have gone, who's this geezer? What's he talking about? But there's something in it, 1,000,000%.
Of course. Over the 10 years that I was trying to heal myself from that first accident, a couple of car accidents, a couple of other near-death misses with drugs, and I went a bit wild. After my accident, I just was like, I'm going to go and party. I want to go and live. I want to go. So I ended up having a couple of overdoses, just too much.
Just overindulging.
And it was like becoming a daily habit, and it was like just having a little bit here.
Is that your nature?
I've got a very addictive personality, so when I do something, it just becomes...
Yeah, even like with the breath work, because I see it, most people who've, and I don't know whether you've had sort of drink or drugs addiction, well, I'm sure we'll get to that, whether you have or you've not, I don't know. But most people who have gone down any sort of road from coming away from that do tend to try and find something good to be addicted to, exactly. Just to push themselves in a positive path.
Yeah, it does. It tends to have when people have an addictive personalities, it becomes, okay, if I find something good, like so people who give up alcohol, they'll go running, gym, and it becomes that becomes their drug. Over that 10 years, my addiction become partying, putting parties on, and entertaining people. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just to literally...
But did this come out like sort of 2 years of therapy? And I'm guessing it must have looked worse than it is now.
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah,
and that must have affected your mental health.
Oh, without a doubt. Mentally, it was such a struggle. The anxiety of being disfigured. It was one of these as well. You'd like go places and you can see people just looking at you straight away. I still get it now.
Of course, yeah. You just switch off, yeah.
I just like, hi. I have a laugh with it now, like, hi, yeah, it's all
How'd that
good.
get there?
Yeah. Sorry, is there something on my face? But, the mental health thing was a big struggle. It was a daily battle and a grind. And in the end, I just had to be like, I'm fucking commanding you to stop.
Yeah.
I literally just had to shout at my brain, stop.
You have that one moment in your life normally where you realise that it's you've got to be strong for you. You know,
exactly.
I've had it a few times in my life where you sort of you're on a downward spiral and you have to sort of slap yourself around the face and say, there's only one person going to fix this, and it's fucking
get
me.
up. Yeah, it's quite funny because my dad used to play for Spurs, and he was a very high-end athlete, and he just always had this winning mentality. Yeah. You got to win. He was become fourth down in karate once he finished football, so he's a master.
Yeah,
he knows what to do. But he was like, you got to keep going no matter what. Got to win, and you got to win yourself in life.
That's that addictive personality in him as well, I suppose. Whatever you do, you want to be the best, or at least the best version you can be. I'm the same. I've never touched drugs, but maybe I've never touched drugs because I know that I'll probably be a fucking nightmare and I won't come off it.
I could imagine as well. Yeah.
I've always wanted to be different. I've always wanted, so if everyone went left, I'd go right.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. If a lot of people are doing something, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
No.
If a lot of people go into like the same holiday like place, like Ibiza, I was like, I don't want to go there now because everyone's going.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to go somewhere where no one's even heard of.
Yeah, I want to do different things, and it's about exploring yourself in that way as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think with drugs, I think I was brought up in an area where everyone either done drugs or sold drugs.
Yeah.
And it was one of them where it was like, that weren't for me, and I think we grew up in the Leah Betts era. And my mum had installed it into me that basically drugs was like a 50-50. If you take drugs, you're going to die. And but I was like, it worked for me because it was like, again, the way listen, I'll have a beer, and if I have a beer, I might go and have 15 beers. So for me, not being involved in drugs in any way, shape or form is probably a saving grace.
Yeah, that was my thing. I'd go out on a Thursday night and I'd come home on a Monday.
Yeah. See, I've never done that. I've never got that. But is that drugs? I mean, it must be drugs because you couldn't do that on alcohol.
Yeah, I'd go from sometimes I'd go at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to an after party because I knew the after party was going to be better than the night party. So I'd be watching where all the DJs are going, and I'd go out and then I'd be out all day. Then I'd be out all night. I'd go back to mates, get showered, go back out again, and we have an after party at the mates, and it just literally would just be, okay, in the morning we're going to another party.
I think I've done it once in Vegas, and again only on alcohol, where it was like I think it was my pal's 40th, and there was like a day drinking session and a night drinking session, but then you'd come in at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning and you'd go straight to the cabana around the pool. And you'd have something soft like a Smirnoff Ice for breakfast, as you do. Just
people don't shot it.
And I think we got to day 3. We got to day 3, and it was brutal. It was one of them.
Yeah, what is my body going through right now?
You could feel like you're just monged out. Again, no, I don't touch drugs, never have, never will. But I remember day 4, we got up to go to his pool party. Well, I say got up, and we all walked down there. There's 8 of us, and we all walked down to, I can't even remember what pool party it was. We all got down there, and it was the slowest fucking walk you can imagine, right? Because no one really wanted to go. And he got there, and the first person, I think there's 9 of us, 8 or 9 of us, and then the first person went, fuck it, I can't do it. And it was like a domino effect. Everyone went, yeah, no, I can't do it. And I think one person went in. Yeah. I went back and laid in bed watching Penn and Teller for 13 hours. I was like that, just laid on bed, like I couldn't even move. Like I was like, this ain't for me. I'm getting too old for this shit.
It's hard grind, isn't it? Alcohol. And to be fair, that's why I give up, because of the anxiety that I was going through after I got squashed by that lorry. I went out and had a couple of beers, and I just went, the anxiety come over me. I woke up in the morning, I was shaking. My mind was like all over the place, and I went, I am done with alcohol. Done. And I'd give up drugs about 4 or 5 years before. I was just like,
was you doing drink and drugs
at the same time?
I mean, before, when you was obviously on the scaffold, you was having a few beers and a bit of gear.
When I used to, scaffolders got this reputation, right?
Yeah, for breakfast.
I used to smoke weed all day. When I was scaffolding at the time, I'd smoke weed, be 50, 65 minutes.
Yeah, crazy.
This is before my accident, before I went to another company. But when I very first started, I was 16, 17, and me and my mate Dal would just be like smoking all day. I used to live with him with weed heads, but we'd go to work and smoke weed all day doing scaffolding. Fucking is it?
Did you go back in the scaffolding after the accident?
Right. So I went from scaffolding, and then I went travelling. I was living in Greece, and I was living on a beach, and I was just like...
After the accident?
No, this is before, so when I was younger. I was about 20, I was my 21st living in Greece, so I come back a completely different person. I went, I don't want to go back on a scaffolding site. I want to do something a bit different. And at the time, I was like bird mad. I was woman mad. Like, my whole life revolved around chatting up women and being with women, because especially when you live in Greece and it's was living in Fadaraki.
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
So
I can imagine.
it was drink, meet a bird, and that was meet as many birds as you can.
Yeah.
We used to have competitions.
Tally on the bedpost.
Yeah. We'd have competitions. We'd have it all written down, and it was like, yeah, I won't go too further into that one, I don't think. But yeah, it was one of those. So I come back and I was like, I really just want to be around women. So I was like, I want to be a hairdresser. But I want to do this, I want to do it properly. So I went and trained at Nicky Clark.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I worked at Nicky Clark for about 5, 6, 7 years. And then I went to Knightsbridge, a salon called Paul Edmonds. So I was working in like the best salons you could do. I was doing all the photo shoots, Vogue, Elle, all of the great big magazines, London Fashion Week, doing it all, Milan Fashion Week, you name it, we did it. And it was like, what a contrast going from scaffolding to hairdressing.
It's probably as far apart as you
my
ever
mates
get,
ripped the life out of me. I got absolutely ripped. But it just felt right what I wanted to do. So I love being creative. I'm a very creative person. And I just thought, I can be around women all day. I can get to be creative. But what I didn't realise is when I went to work at Nicky Clark, it was in Mayfair, so I was working with really old, rich women. It wasn't what I wanted at all. It was completely the opposite. I mean, these are old, rich Mayfair, proper English women, you know, very well-to-do. So it's a completely different lifestyle altogether. But I just fell in love with that. And then my stepdad died, and he had cancer. And I needed a way to help my mum. And I was like, I wasn't really earning the money I was when I was scaffolding. I was like, maybe I'll have to go back. So I went back scaffolding, went back scaffolding, and then it was about 8 months later, I had my accident.
Well, again, it's sliding doors, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if that path might not have happened, that might not have happened, but at the same time, if that hadn't happened, that hadn't happened, and that hadn't happened, then you wouldn't be where you are now.
Of course. And then even between that, after that 2 years, once I started going back, I was like, I think I need to go back hairdressing. So I went back hairdressing for a little while.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Just 'cause I thought I need to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I used to walk down the road, and if there'd be a bit of scaffolding on the road, I'd have to cross the other side. Like it messed me up.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it messed me up a lot. So that went on for a while, and then it was only through doing my own personal healing work and getting stuck in. When I got addicted to the healing work. It became a routine. Like I've got to do something on a daily basis. It's like if you're gonna do something, and even if you do 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, you're going to be better than someone who only does it once a month.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to accelerate my healing, and yeah, that was my other part of my addiction is like healing work.
I think anyone who goes into that healing world have normally been broken at some point, and now they want to,
right?
yeah, and then they want to help other people.
Yeah. Learn from basically you're going from your own experience.
Yeah, and trauma's a powerful thing.
Yeah, trauma. Do you know what? Even like as a child, your mum and dad telling you no to something gets stored in the body as a trauma.
Really?
It's called parental disapproval. So the parental disapproval gets stored in your emotions, in your cells, in your fascia.
And what creates negative energy?
Yeah, even when you are born, okay, so I do a breath work called rebirthing breath work, and rebirthing is about your very first breath. When you are born and you're in the womb, even when you come out, if the umbilical cord is cut too soon and it's still beating, it's a disconnection to your mum. If you're pulled out and the lights are too bright, it's a trauma. It's the very first thought, the very first breath that we have could be really good, or it can have store trauma. That can play out in your life. Even if you're born late, you will be late in your life.
How do you mean?
So if you're born like 2 weeks late, everything you do in your life you will be late for.
Well, okay.
Plays out in a pattern.
I'm wondering if I was premature then. My missus probably thinks I was.
Yeah, trauma is a really big thing. So obviously through my own near-death misses and everything I went through, I just really started studying how to heal trauma.
How did you actually get into it? Like, was it just through?
Through just, again, open the doors. As you said, the doors slide open and the next thing you're immersing into something. I'm down a rabbit hole and I'm looking into trauma and anxiety. And
Was there one person in particular who sort of guided you through?
not really, all
self-taught?
All self, yeah. I even remember that day I said I was on my knees a minute ago. Something come over me that day when it was like a wave of energy. It was like just of relief. When I was crying for help, that relief come in. And so go to YouTube and watch a video. Also, I put YouTube on and also a motivational video come up by Eric Thomas. Don't know if you've heard of him. Ex-NFL player. But he's now one of like the best motivational coaches out there. Go and check him out.
I've probably heard his speeches without realising who Eric.
Phenomenal. Yeah. And that day was all about being powerful for yourself. Elevating yourself, getting up, going out and doing it. And it just, something come over me and it was like, that was a key start from that kick point. And it just shows you that no matter what you're going through, one little thing, one nugget can also help you as well. That nugget that day was profound to leading me into what I wanted to do as well. Even looking back at it now, it's like, if I hadn't watched that video, again, another sliding door. If I hadn't watched that video, what would have happened? If I hadn't felt that, and if I hadn't been praying that day. As you said, that sliding door. It's very, very important. So from that you said it was one person that led me to something, but it was from that led me to going to learning that meditation, going to have the shamanic healing, going to do shamanic practices, going to work with shamans. Really, so I went to Colombia and we started working with shamans over there. I actually went with Bill.
Was that when, I know you got stuck over there?
Yeah, we got stuck over there. So that was I had another near-death miss trauma over there.
See, like that must be, like, if you like Muay Thai, going and train in Thailand, it's got to be the ultimate, that's the
Well,
key.
I thought it was the ultimate, but we was at, for me personally, it was a resort that didn't look after my needs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got stuck outside what was the ceremony hut where everything takes place. I got stuck outside and I was there for hours, no help. No one come to help me. I was shouting, I was screaming.
Really?
No one come to help me.
Was this during a ceremony?
During a ceremony, my whole body just started shutting down. I could feel I was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I'm like,
how dangerous is that stuff?
to be fair, it's like the medicine's not dangerous, it's the people.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll come to it in a bit, but it's basically, in my book, I've put in a chapter, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly Facilitator. What I experienced out there was the ugly facilitator, because they give us a bowl and a medicine was so big and so thick, it would have done all 8 of us.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And I've had other reports saying that they're just there for the money. It's very, like, you got to know who you're going to when you're doing that sort of stuff. And we went on a recommendation. For me, I ended up having a go at them and telling them, like, this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable.
Well, they are playing with people's lives.
Yeah, exactly. I got left, and I was left literally in the pitch black. Outside this Maloka, screaming, shouting, no one come to help me. And all of a sudden, this dog, we should have been tied up by that night, come and he was literally biting the corner of my ankle, taking all, and he was just shaking, and he was taking all my energy. This dog literally saved my life.
Oh, really?
Took my energy, yeah. It's incredible.
A mad experience.
Yeah, and I was hallucinating, obviously, and in different realms. But but my whole body was literally just getting, I could feel it dying.
And what was that? Is that DMT?
Yeah, so it's DMT.
Yeah.
So ayahuasca. But this is called in Colombia. It's called Yehe. So it's a bit of a different plant. If you go to Peru, you have ayahuasca. It's a different plant that goes with it. I don't really know too much about it now because I've come out of that scene.
Yeah.
Just because it was, I needed. I got tortured.
When I say about not doing drugs, and I've never done drugs, DMT is one of them things that
you do.
Potentially, yeah. Only just because it just it doesn't seem like drugs because it's not recreational.
No, it's pure medicine, and what you got to realise is the drugs has got like a real dark energy on it. When you're doing DMT is a God molecule. It's the God molecule. It's the most profound, beautiful thing you'd ever experience. But that medicine we had in Colombia wasn't right. And I've had other reports from people saying, they put, it's like a black tar in it. I was literally pinned to the floor at one point. I couldn't move. I went through it. I literally got tortured by it.
I remember Billy was saying that he had like a really bad experience where he was basically throwing up and coming out of all ends, like constantly.
Yeah, I laid there 12 hours, couldn't move, coming out of both ends.
Yeah. Oh, really? It's same thing. Is that standard for the?
It can be, but it's also not. So during the ayahuasca ceremony, the ayahuasca ceremony in Colombia, when I was having my near-death miss again, I knew something wasn't right with that medicine. There's nothing wrong with ayahuasca. I had a feeling that night something wasn't right. It didn't feel right. I've drunk ayahuasca many, many times before that, and I'd never experienced anything that dark, that heavy.
The experience itself.
Yeah, not even just the experience of the medicine. It just didn't. It was the way it was served, the way they looked after us. They literally served us medicine and walked out.
Really?
Like that is.
You expect to be guided through and looked after, nurtured.
Held. But they walked out and left us, and for me that was. I didn't like that. I didn't like that experience, and it just for me. If I want to be in ceremony, I want to be held.
Be looked after.
Yeah, exactly, and that again, that's another trauma because I was left to practically die, and I got no help.
And you're in Colombia, is it like a rainforest?
We was right up. We was about an hour away from the rainforest, but we was right up in the mountains. Like the drive from the airport was about 7 hours in a taxi up the mountains, just winding and winding and winding. I mean, it was beautiful to watch and see, but it was like when we got there, it was like literally in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing. The closest town was about an hour away. And
was this when you obviously got stuck?
Yeah, this is when
this was. I just remember seeing on social media. And I was thinking, I don't know whether I'm worried for you. I don't know if I'm envious because I'm thinking if I'm going to get stuck, I'd rather be in Colombia than fucking Hertfordshire. Like, I think you might have had a bit of a touch here.
Well, we just got the news. They come in and the family come in and they were just like doing this, like crossing it over there. Like, what do you mean? I was like, everything's shutting down. We're like, what do you mean everything's shutting down? I mean, hardly any Wi-Fi over there as well. It was literally in the middle of nowhere, so it was very hard to get Wi-Fi. You had a little bit every now and again. But everything's shutting down. We're like, what do you mean? It was like, yeah, no, there's a pandemic.
Something called COVID.
Yeah, no, obviously we'd never heard anything of it. We'd never experienced anything like this. So we were like, shit, like this is bad. Like every single country is shut down. We were like, what?
Borders are just being closed.
Like, they were like, you've got no planes to get home. Like, we was literally on the phone, trying to get on the phones, trying to find out. Like, it's like we were stuck. And it was a funny thing, we had no water. We had literally had about one bag left between about 8 of us. It was like the last rations of food of what we bought, because we was due to go to the shop. So we had literally, was like, all was going through my head is like, I've had the worst, absolutely the worst. I've nearly died.
This has not been the best trip.
It gets worse. It gets worse with better. But the thought was going through my head, like, the whole world shut down. I literally thought I was not going home from Colombia during that ceremony.
Yeah.
I've got no food, I've got no water. I'm like, I had to have a laugh a little bit. I was like,
you end up feral, living off the land.
But listen to this, right? So a couple of days before, we went into the town to get some mattresses, because where we were staying in the Maloka, the ceremony hut, all the flooring was all buckled wood, like really like old and not neat or anything. I just put it together, and I was laying on this tiny thin mat, and I was like a yoga mat.
Feel everything.
I was like, I really just need to get something. Bill ended up getting a great big double mattress. I ended up getting a blue mat, right? Well, listen to this. After that ceremony, then we get told the world's shutting down. I went and laid on my mat, and I just looked, and I went, I'm on a prison mat. It's literally a blue prison mat.
I've got an inch thick mattress for the next 6 months.
I was like, and not that as well, in the Maloka. So imagine one end down there, that great big wall where your wall is there, 10 foot across. There's a great big window. This wall here is a great big window. Nothing in it. Nothing, not closed off, and the wind in the mountains blowing through every night, so it's freezing cold as well. And I was laying there at night time, like shivering, literally shivering. I took ski gear as well, because I thought we were supposed to be going into the actual Amazons. I thought if it's going to be raining, I just want a little bit of waterproofing. Lucky enough, I had ski gear. Some people didn't have warm clothing, and it was like wrapping up. Like the fire was on in the middle of the Maloka, but round by your bed and right underneath the window as well. You're like, oh, could this get any worse? Could this get any worse? Oh.
I'm just picturing you shivering with a set of ski goggles on.
Little bobbly hat, like, little gnome, little fishing rod, come on.
And then, and you was at, how long were you stuck out there for? 40 odd days?
Yeah, we had about just over 3 weeks.
Well, okay.
3 weeks, but then
it's the not knowing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the unknown. We managed. One of my friends actually worked he's a diplomat for the UK, and I got hold of him, and he said, message this person, they work for the British Columbia Embassy.
Yeah.
And I, lucky enough, got hold of her. They put on a flight to get us home. And 3 or 4
I remember
people,
even that. I remember Bill saying something about, like, it was like all of a sudden they got like 3 hours to get to the airport, and you know, or you're going to miss it.
Yeah, it
was like touch and go.
Yeah. It was like we might not even get on this plane. So what me and Bill did, got out of the resort and went and actually got a B&B, like a little apartment up in the Columbia town. But we were still a couple of hours away from the airport.
Yeah.
It was the only place we could get. So yeah, we was in there, but we went and spent about £100 on food. we literally had a shower. We laid on the bed and we were like, "Oh, a bed, a shower!" Like, it was just like literally like the best shower ever.
Yeah.
There was cold water out there, freezing cold showers every day, and that was another thing that added to it. Cold therapy, but now I love cold therapy, so I've been in a cold shower all the time. But
sometimes it's not. You need a warm one, don't you?
Of course you do, yeah.
Especially if it's cold at night.
Yeah, you need after a ceremony.
I always think cold water therapy is lovely, but I'd rather do it next to a sauna
To be
than
fair,
in a lake. You know,
that's when you do cold therapy, when you add the sauna into it, it was another level. But we'll go into that later on. But yeah, that time in Colombia, we were literally. Bill was like, "I've got 2 kids." I was like, "I've had the worst experience of my entire life. Like, this has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I want to get home." I said, if the world's locked down, I said, I want to get home, I want to be on my sofa, and I want to do my integration and my processing at home.
Trouble is, it was an unknown quantity. You know, no one knew. I remember when it first shut down, I remember saying to someone, "Open in a couple of weeks, be fine. No, don't worry, but don't panic. You know, this won't be a long term thing." But yeah, mad.
Yeah. And it was again another thing my body had to go through of dealing with this trauma, and again another trauma, another big trauma, anxiety, stress. It's played out for a long time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Like, if I could actually tell you what happened out in Colombia, a lot of people probably wouldn't get it, so I probably won't go into too much about it. But I got attacked by a bad spirit.
Well, okay. I feel like you need to expand on that.
Yeah. So I got attacked by a proper demon. Just speaking about it, it's hard, but yeah, it's proper demon.
Is this whilst you're once you're going through the ceremony?
Ayahuasca, yeah. So that night I got fully attacked. Bad demon.
Expand. What? Like, I know it's this because this is a little bit mental.
Yeah, this is.
Most people will go.
What are we talking about? But yeah, you got good. Like in the world, like we are a spirit, right? So people, there's angels, there's guides, but there's also darkness. And I got attacked by a proper dark demon, and he showed me the end of the world. He showed me what he wanted to do to the world. Basically, it was the devil. And showed me what he wanted me to do to the world. And I'm like, I'm not doing this.
You weren't eating a bat, was it?
No. It was just he wanted to end the world, and that was the thing. I was like, this is what I'm saying. It's a bit hard to explain, right? But
is it just a vision?
Yeah, it was like I'm trying to explain. It's like literally like the devil. It was the devil. Yeah, it was coming to.
But you're laying in this state of. I mean, I'm guessing you can't move. You can't.
No, I was pinned.
And you've got these visions that are just attacking your mind.
Yeah, I mean, he energetically put hooks in me, tortured me. He went to town on me. I got absolutely my ass kicked. It was just horrible.
I think it's one of them things, and unless you've experienced it, like what you said,
it's so hard
you just won't understand.
No, but everyone's heard of the devil, right? But yeah,
it's mad. Yeah, I'd love to somehow get inside your brain on that one because it's.
I wish you wouldn't, mate. I won't pass that energy to you.
It's just
I don't want
that.
I don't want anyone to have that energy. Like, it's very, very tough, mate. Very, very tough. It was.
But when you come round, after however many hours, 10, 15, wherever many hours, you then realise, you then start opening up. Do they ask you about how?
The shamans? No, they didn't ask for nothing.
Not at all?
No, they didn't even
care. So you just took that home with you, or you speak to Bill, you was out with Bill, you speak to Bill about it, and...
Bill was like, you need a fucking habbo. He blasted me with habbo. He was like, you need to ground. Yeah, it was a wild experience.
Have you been back since? No. You've not touched it at all? No,
not ayahuasca.
No.
I've had to have a long break from that. It's about nearly 5 years ago.
Must have been 2019, end of.
Yeah.
Or beginning of 20.
4 years or 5 years?
It's about, it will be about 4 years, 4 and a bit years, yeah. Yeah, because it would have been the beginning of COVID, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because when the world shut down. So. But yeah, as I said, it's very hard to explain what happened over there. A lot of people might not get it, but just know that there is good spirits and there is bad spirits out there. And the thing is, when you mess with these medicines and you don't go to the right place, this can happen. And it's a very, very big lesson for anyone interested to go. Make sure you do your research, make sure you get good recommendations, make sure you go and work with good shamans who are ethical, not just wanting your money, not setting you up for something.
Tourist trap now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I felt the resort that we went to may have been working with the dark rather than the light.
Right, okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. But you must have. How did you find out that? You must have had some sort of recommendation on it.
Yeah, we had a recommendation from a friend who's been there a few times. But yeah, just for me personally, I expected more help. But to be honest, the people that were actually there, they were really nice people. Like, that's the hardest thing about it. Like, they were so nice and caring and humble. But when it comes to being in a ceremony, it was just like,
you're on your own.
yeah. And for me, I just wanted a little bit more. But that's just my own personal.
Coming back from that, sort of we skipped out a few years in between the accident, a couple of years of therapy.
Yeah, we sort of we jumped because it just felt right.
Yeah, no, 100%.
To go into that, but yeah, let's
I want to drag you back to that Bitcoin era. Era?
Easy for you to say.
I'll just make up new words.
That's what I said, didn't I?
But this was, you was obviously heavily involved in Bitcoin. So talk us through that.
Okay, so we're transitioning back to that. Okay, cool. So let me come full thing. So from my hairdressing days, and then going to live in Ibiza and coming around and getting some money. I needed something to invest into, but again, I found Bitcoin in like 2011, 12. Really early days. Early days, because I was going to conferences, and someone said to me when I was doing network marketing. I've done a few things, by the way, people. I'm a bit like, if I get drawn to it, I'm going to try it.
So you've gone from the scaffolding
to hairdressing. While I was doing hairdressing, I was doing network marketing.
Right, okay.
So I was doing that on the side to try and earn some more money. But what I did do, I ended up getting pretty good at it. I ended up signing up like 400 or 500 people in like a couple of days in one company, and I broke all records, and they was like, right, I need you up on stage to tell people what you've been doing. Because I just got excited and I just started telling people.
Did you find that what you'd gone through with the head injury was a massive plus for you to sell?
Selling your story, yeah, really. Like being on stage, I was like, for what you've been through, we need to amplify
people buy into that.
Yeah. It's not that I'm using it for that, but it just people resonate with actual rawness.
Yeah,
they resonate.
It's real.
With it. Yeah, people are like, I've been through trauma myself, and it's like I can.
They relate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up getting really good at network marketing, and again, another addiction. Just constantly on the phone, ringing people. I just had no fear about it. I was just like, yeah, just go. And so yeah, that led me to being told about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin come into my life when hardly anyone knew about it. And again, I feel like it's a bit of a congruent theme with things I do. When I get into things, not many people know about them. It's like I feel like I'm bringing things to the world. But with Bitcoin, it was about $50 a coin when I very first started buying it. But I got told it when it was $1. And it was so complicated. You had to set up all your own mining equipment, all your own computers. And I just looked and went, I don't know how to do that. So that for me was nah, not going to do it right now. But then it come to me again at $50. So, okay, I went, hold on a minute. So you're telling me it's $50 a coin? I went, I remember seeing that when it was $1. What is going on? How can it go from $1 to $50? That captured me. That captivated me. And I was like, this sank in.
It's 50 times your money.
50 times. I was like, imagine it now. Right? Well, so I got heavily involved. I ended up doing network marketing with Bitcoin. We ended up building a team of about 35,000 people all over the world. We brought in millions upon millions.
But who was this? Was you facing up?
Yeah, so no, myself and I was with two business partners. They were Swedish, and a couple of others as well. So we had a little team of us.
And these were mining?
Yeah, so we were basically, what we were doing, we were bringing investors in to buy the mining equipment so we could actually mine the Bitcoin. So we was right at the forefront of it. The mining company was one of the biggest mining companies in the world at the time. Literally on the blockchain, it was open. It was like, this is gold.
You've made it.
We've made it. And I put thousands and thousands of pounds, and probably 50 grand, 100 grand into play. Because every time I was earning money, which was a lot of money at the time, I was putting it back in. Reinvesting it, compounding it, compounding it. I got greedy a little bit. And from basically a lot of money that I had from my insurance on my big head accident, I invested. I put it all in. And yeah, it was worth a lot of money. Like today, it'd be multi-millions. What's today a coin? 60,000 a coin?
Yeah.
So yeah,
craziness.
Imagine it from $50,
yeah,
cut $100 a coin, $400 a coin. I've got a picture on my phone. It was $400 a coin. I've still got it.
I remember. Do you know what? I remember when it dropped. I don't know what year it was, but I remember it was all looking. And I never jumped on the Bitcoin. Obviously, wish I did. But I was investing in something else at the time, and I remember it dropped down to 2,400, and I remember laughing because I thought it was going to go pop.
Well, even now at 60,000, it's probably going to go higher again.
Yeah, but it'll drop. No doubt it'll drop down.
It goes to about 30,000 again. It's literally.
It seems to do the same thing year on year, doesn't it?
I think, if I remember correctly, I spoke to someone the other day. I think the halving of Bitcoin has happened or is happening like right now. So again, it's going to get even more scarce. It's going to get harder to mine. So the value of it's just going to shoot up.
But what actually happened with yours? I mean, obviously you're mining. You're sitting on. I'm guessing you must have been sitting on, like a large amount of coins personally.
I think at one point I had about 100 coins. I was getting paid in Bitcoin. So I lived practically for about 5 years. I was living on Bitcoin. I was getting paid on it. I was spending. I was buying hotels on it. I was traveling around the world. I went to 65 countries in about 3 years, putting seminars on. Thousands of people at a time.
But you're basically dragging investment.
Yeah, exactly.
And offering them Bitcoin.
Yeah. To come in, but basically what we was doing, we was getting investors in to come in and buy the mining equipment. But what happened is that the mining company itself, we wasn't the actual company, we were just the networkers for the company.
Right, so you was actually only the marketing agency.
Yeah, we wasn't.
Right,
we wasn't
so
the company. We
was
wasn't the company. We didn't own it. And a lot of people, and they was actually buying islands, planes, jets, you name it, Lamborghinis. They were living like thing. But what they were doing, they were taking the money and not buying new equipment. So all of a sudden, their earnings were going down and down and down because mining was getting harder and harder and harder. But they weren't buying new equipment, and they all got nicked. So the FBI shut it down, and
see, I think they potentially used you guys as scapegoats because obviously you was facing up. It looked like it was your company.
Yeah, it weren't ours.
And I've seen this on a couple of other people where they basically put you in. No one knows their face. No one knows their name. Yeah. You're the one everyone's throwing their money in through you.
Yeah, of course.
And now you're the bad guy.
We got fully blamed for it. Yeah. And it wasn't. I invested more money than most people were putting in. So I was like, I've lost a a lot of money here as well. And again, another trauma. It was a big trauma when that got shut down, and then everyone started blaming me. I got attacked on social media like beyond. It was like
because you've had everyone's dough.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that. I even paid some people back out of my own money. I have close friends. I've paid a couple of people. I paid the money that I could afford. I was like, I give some money back. And if I had the money, I'd give everyone their money back. But I just it's not something I could do.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was very, very tough.
Yeah, and that must have dragged on for quite a while.
I went on for ages
because you was Mr. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know, you was Mr. Bitcoin. If someone said Bitcoin,
Joby.
It would be Joby, yeah.
Joby, yeah.
Yeah, Joby Broughley.
Joby Bitcoin.
But that's how it was, yeah. Everyone knew you was, you know.
That's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because I just got so excited about it. When I do things, I get passionate. If I'm passionate about something, I want my friends to enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
I was earning money out of it. I was like, come on, you can do this too. Like,
yeah.
So
yeah,
easy.
and you do, listen, you know, like it's being a multi-millionaire and not bringing your friends up.
Yeah.
It's pointless because your friends can't keep up with you.
No,
you know, you try and share the wins, and sometimes it goes wrong.
Yeah, and to be fair, a couple of my friends were like, "Oh, I'm not investing in that. I'm not doing that." I actually lost some friendships over it as well. I was like, just stop. And to be fair, I'm glad now that they didn't get in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
like that. Heart for the people that did, and I apologise to everyone, and just hope that I can be forgiven as well. You know, because I didn't do anything wrong. I had good intentions.
I think the only thing you done wrong in my eyes was it looked like your company, and you spoke. Because I remember speaking to you about it, and you spoke on behalf of them. Rather than brokering. I think if you broke it and say, look, this is what the deal is.
Yeah, of course.
This is who it is. You know, we're pushing people into them. Have a look and make your own decision. But I think they was more than happy to scapegoat you because it saves their ass, especially if they knew what they was doing. Yeah. If they knew it was going to be a fucking pump and dump and they're going to just, you know, sort of money grab and then disappear, they'd be more than happy for you to.
There was another company called OneCoin as well. I don't know if you remember that, but the Bulgarian thing, again, I invested thousands upon thousands of money into that. She ran off with billions.
Oh, really?
Billions. It was a BBC report. Like, it was on like the BBC trying to find her. Like,
yeah. I remember it. Not in too much detail, but I do remember
basically, everything I had done turned into a scam. And I was like, in the end, I was just like, I can't do this no more. And I still have people approaching me now.
I think you realise, though, like, as you get older, you realise that there's so much bad intention. You know, everyone's trying to fuck everyone over, and I hate it.
Yeah,
there's so much room for genuine business out there, but most people are out for an easy win, an easy fix. You know, they don't care who gets fucked in the meantime. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
No, it's pointless. Yeah. Like, but it's out there. You're like, I reckon 80% of deals that are thrown, you know, you look at it either don't make sense or it's a scam. Yeah. I mean, you only got to look at the amount of scams. Obviously, the internet has provided a platform for scams left, right, and so I've done it myself. Pissed up, bought an holiday on Facebook Marketplace that don't exist. You know, like shit happens. Like, yeah,
I'm putting 50 grand in it, 20 grand into it, 3 grand into it, 5 grand into that.
Oh, listen, I've been done. I've been done a few times. Like one of them, big, like big 7 figures, big.
Hurts,
yeah, but I got done.
That sort of though.
Yeah, affected me for a long time, and but I got done for best part of 50 grand, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and the fuckers hacked my email, and they changed invoices, so I'm paying. So say it come in from Joby at I don't know HT1 or whatever, they've changed it to Joby at HTL, and oh hi mate, yeah. So they've stopped me seeing the email, the invoice coming in. They've resent it So it all looks legit. And I'm paying people, and then I'm getting people phoning me up going, hey, they had my invoice paid. I'm like, I fucking paid it. I paid it last Tuesday. Like, to the new bank details. We haven't got new bank details. And I was like, ping you fuckers. Bastards. And that was before, it didn't have to match. You know, like when you make a payment now, the name has to match the account. So this was just before that.
Right.
So yeah, you know, it's what you just feel sick. I literally felt sick, and I used to wake up for 3 weeks. I used to wake up, and I'd open my eyes, and I'd just go.
How's your anxiety during that?
Cunt. I would literally sit there just seething, and I'd seethe all day and seethe all night. Yeah, like I'd lay in bed, and I was so angry. And then I remember, like, I woke up like day 21. You know, 3 weeks in, and I went, "You just got to stop, because it ain't." Then it's not coming back. No. You're never going to get the money back.
Like self-realisation.
Yeah, it's like, just get on with it. Like, you know, like, just push forward, because you end up trying to chase. And like I got it traced to the Czech Republic or something like that. And even in there, it got to the Czech Republic and bounced into something that bounced again. Like, could have been anywhere.
Wow,
and
they're so clever, though, aren't they?
I was, you know, one of them things where you go, so angry, but I'm almost impressed, because like this is really simple, and you've done me like a kipper.
Yeah,
like
even with us with the Bitcoin mining thing, like, they was on the blockchain, like showing every single record. We're like, how can this be a scam?
Yeah,
and it still was. And then people are doing things like that. It's like, I'm not promoting this in any way, but
there's some geniuses out there.
Like, yeah, but the thing is, the fact that they're doing it for a bad thing. Imagine what they could do if they did it for good.
This is what we always say. Like, there's so many criminals out there who are running criminal empires. Just run a fucking legit empire.
Imagine.
You've got what it takes. Just run it legit.
Imagine.
It's so simple.
Imagine what they could do for the world.
Big time. Yeah.
Imagine the goodness they could bring to the world if they actually flipped that again.
Yeah.
The light and the dark, what we're talking about.
And
right?
I've seen it with people. I've seen it with people where they've, I don't know, might have been selling drugs, and they've used the drug money to set up a legitimate business, and end up coming out of selling drugs because they've actually done all right. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's like, you could have just done that
all the time. Imagine, it's like that when you're in that criminal world, you're looking over your shoulder all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine the energy. No, it makes me shudder.
Not being able to sleep at night.
No, but them people, like as you said, some of them are really clever business people.
Yeah.
If they channeled it in the right way and brought that, they could bring something powerful to the earth. And it's like, but again, I think all of that's going to crumble anyway. I don't think they'll be able to go forward very long.
I think it's getting harder and harder for any type of criminal to. Although saying that, cyber crimes at its all-time high, isn't it? Yeah, like, I remember when I spoke to the police, and again, they can't offer. I think the money never come back. There was no, like, the banks weren't interested. You spoke to the ombudsman, they didn't really give a fuck. So you just write it off and crack on. And I think now it's different. I think there's things been put in place since, but they were saying that they reckon £1 million a day. I'm going back maybe 5 years ago. £1 million a day was being done in cybercrime, reported. But they said in reality it's probably 5 times that, because people don't report it because they're embarrassed. Yeah. They're embarrassed that they've not done their, homework, and they won't report it because they feel stupid. Like, it's insane. Did you face police? No investigation or nothing through that?
No. But to be fair, the FBI actually set up a thing and was like to try and help people get their money back.
Good.
So the FBI, so we got involved with that a little bit, but again, still ongoing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still ongoing.
Really?
Like, was it 2015, 16?
Jesus.
I remember we got out 2017.
Are they banged up? The people who was running the...
Yeah, it's funny. One of them actually got banged up in Thailand for running a paedophile ring.
You're joking.
Like disgusting. So he's well banged up. A few of the others, there was about 3 or 4 of them all got proper banged up. Yeah,
good. Well. Yeah.
They did at the end of the day when you're going to scam people on that level for billions, absolutely billions.
Just greed. Because the thing is, they must have had a good business model at some point.
Yeah.
But what's enough?
Yeah.
You know.
They was buying islands and planes and jets and Lamborghinis and mansions, and they had a private jumbo jet. They were flying around on a jumbo jet.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, they made billions because crypto was.
I was going to say that's what I'm saying though. They would have had a really good business just doing it properly. Yeah. It's mad. Yeah. Imagine how much Bitcoin they would have been sitting on now.
Crazy. All they had to do was keep buying equipment and be legit.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'd be multi-billionaires anyway.
Close to trillionaires.
Yeah.
One of them started mining Bitcoin, like the actual programmer, at 0.001 cents. They was one of the very first people to start mining Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous number. I remember that one.
You couldn't even fathom it.
What was it, the pizza one? The guy had spent 8,000. He bought a pizza for something like 8,800 Bitcoin.
Yeah, so it worked out about $20 at the time. 2 pizzas. Yeah. It basically, they was on a forum, right? If I remember the story correctly, I was on a forum. And they was like, "I want to see if this Bitcoin works. Will anyone accept it?" He said, "I'll send you 10,000 Bitcoins." I think it was whatever number you said, and I'll send you. You order the pizzas, I'll send you the Bitcoin. So the guy got on the phone in California or wherever it was, ordered the pizzas. Pizzas turned up, he sent them the Bitcoin, and that guy's, well, can you imagine? But has he still got them?
Probably not. No, probably not.
Because if the price goes to a certain point, would he buy it? Would he sell them? You know,
listen, no one knows. Like you say, right, it goes to $1. Fucking hell, it's gone to $1. Only paid X, Y, Z. Yeah. I've made so much money. I've put 100 quid on. I've now got X, Y, Z. Like, I'm going to cash in because no one thinks it's going to keep going up.
The psychology of holding from $1, $10, $20, $50 to now, you'd have to be a very, very
you've got to put it away and forget about it. Like, it's very because it could have gone the other way. Like, hindsight's incredible. But no one knows. No one knows when it went down from 16 down to 2,400. It weren't going to be at zero and implode. No one knows. And now it's you have a lot of very smart people who all they've actually done is just sat on it. Probably didn't know how to sell it. But anyway,
it's one of those. It's like there is probably some people out there that have managed to hold it, and if they have, they're going to be very, very wealthy. I think even if you just had one Bitcoin now, I think in a few years you'll be wealthy.
Yeah. But it's one of them as well. It's like you say, at that low level, it depends on how much you would buy. But then saying that, like you say, at 0.01, if you banged 100 quid on it, even if you put a tenner on it, you're still sitting in an extremely nice situation.
If I'd have kept all of my coins that come through me, through my business, would have been crazy. Multi-millionaire would have been. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. And the thing is,
hindsight,
yeah, absolutely. And I can't have any regrets on it either because it's happened. Right here, right now. I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and that's my focus now. So.
What is the future
of Bitcoin or
of yourself?
Of myself, helping people with trauma, anxiety and stress through breath work, which we've not even really gone into yet. So I've got a breathwork academy, and I teach people now to become facilitators. I teach people how to breathe more functionally. I teach people how to release trauma and de-stress the body. So I've just did another course where I'm learning about the fascia of the body. So the fascia is basically like skin within the skin. It's the interweb of all connected things within the body. It holds the muscles together, holds the tissues together, holds everything together. So all of our emotions, the traumas, the pains, everything we hold gets stored in the fascia. And when we can unwind and unlock the fascia, we release the trauma. So I'm always growing and evolving. I'm always studying. I study every day. Whether I'm listening to an audio, or I'm driving, I always have something.
Learning,
even if it's just a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Even when I'm in the shower, I put something on that I can listen to.
Is that you now with the breath work? Is that where you see your journey sort of?
Yeah, to be fair, I'm so passionate about it. Again, it's the Bitcoin thing. I'm so passionate about it. But again, the fascia thing is now coming in, and not many people know about it. So I feel like, again,
like you said, you're early to the game.
I'm very early to the game. One of the very first people in the UK bringing this to the UK. It's a group of about 20, 30 people probably doing it in the UK that I know of. And they're not doing it to what I'm doing. They're not out teaching and doing clients and stuff already that I know of. They're just learning it for their own healing journey. So I'm already taking it. So as soon as I started learning it, day one, I was teaching it.
Nice. Yeah.
That's what I do. When I want to learn something, I teach it. So that night, I learned it. And I was like, I absolutely love this. This is phenomenal. So I started teaching it. And it flushed out. Within 3 or 4 days, I did on my training, did a 7-day training. Within that 7 days, my body got so, a lot of people call it sickness, but in the training, I call it healing. So we're releasing, we're flushing everything out. I hadn't experienced anything like that in a long time. So I was still whole, even though I've done years and years worth of trauma work, emotional work, and breath work, and my body was still holding trauma. So it shows you, like, years worth of trauma was being flushed out. And it doesn't matter how much work we do, we are layers. We store it. Again, even as we were talking about earlier, that childhood thing can come up. So I'm in breathwork sessions, I'm holding sessions. I always say to people, always expect the unexpected as well. Because we could be working on one trauma, and your body might want to release something else. It could be a memory, it could be a thought, it could be emotion, it could be a physical. Something will arise that might be suppressed. And if we suppress it, if we look at animals in the animal kingdom, they'll shake out. You'll see them shaking.
Yeah.
Okay, it's tremoring. So when they tremor, they're releasing from the cells that stored energy. They get rid of it quick. We don't as humans. We store, we suppress, we don't talk about, especially men. Men don't talk about problems. We suppress everything.
Facts, yeah.
Men have got to be the alpha.
We try and be real men,
yeah. But that, for me, that paradigm has to die. Because if we don't deal with our shit, it's going to come up in sickness, it's going to come up in disease, it's going to come up, we're going to end up being really sick.
And even then, when we get sick, we still hold it in because we don't want to show weakness. It's crazy, but it's what we do. Like.
And all men have to do is, like, I'm actually holding a men's circle on May the 15th in Hoddesdon, so I'm going to be putting a men's group together. Something new that's come up. Broxbourne Wellbeing Centre literally just opened.
Where's that?
It is right by Sainsbury's.
Okay, along the parade there.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So it's literally just tucked away. But they want to start bringing men's circles in. They've got ice bath in there. They've got a sauna in there. So it's going to be a whole thing for men to come and be part of, which I think is really needed right now. Again, we can do warrior breathwork. We can do strong men's things, but we can have some fun doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a real thing about healing as well. It's like, I'm healing. It becomes a real, it's like a stagny word, isn't it? It's like,
with your healing, there must have been something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Let's just have some fun, but also at the same time internally do something good for us. So we are doing the healing, but if we can say it in a different way, it's like, I'm going to have an experience. I'm going to discover something. I want to learn.
I think that, labelling it correctly, and we come back all the time. We had a guest on here called Joe Reed, and she changed it, and she said it's not mental health, it's emotional health, and that for me, it made it easier to deal with. Because it wasn't up here where we don't know anything about our brains, really. Emotions, fucking hell. That made it easier to sort of fold up and throw away, and get rid of it, and deal with it.
Get it and put it in the bin.
Yeah. And sometimes, like you say, we are, Christ, you can be on top of your game and you've done an 18-hour day and you feel like crying. It happens, Of
course, and even to your partner, men don't tell their partners everything.
No.
Whereas women will tell you everything.
Yeah,
and
Christ,
fucking shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a real thing. I think you're seeing a lot more men come into to my events that I put on. I'm seeing more men come in now, which is nice. And I think that's needed. And I think it's just a new paradigm is coming. This is, again, doing the good for the earth. We're talking about, again, the businessmen. I've seen a lot of businessmen now. Again, it's quite funny. The top 1% of people, like proper millionaires, billionaires, they did a report, and it was found that they all have a breath work routine of some sort.
I believe it, yeah. Yeah.
Because even athletes now, top athletes, football teams,
because they're realising the importance of it.
Because you're getting better results, you get better recovery for your body, you get a calmer mind, boosts your immune systems, you don't get sick, clears the sickness, removes the sickness. It's like the breath is a gift. It's an absolute gift, and when we can do that, and we can also work with the fascia at the same time, we can heal quick. Quick.
I was reading something not that long ago, and it's saying like with the breath work, where most people don't. If you've got people who they live in an office, they don't really exercise. They never actually use. They're probably only using 60-70% of their lung capacity, so they're never actually getting a workout. So
we breathe 20 to 30,000 times a day. If we can make just 1% of it, you might have heard me breathing throughout. So I'm taking conscious breaths as we breathe. Not only that, when you're talking, I'm breathing, so I want to listen. I'm taking that, I'm absorbing that in. So we lead with the breath. So if we can go through the day and we can consciously breathe, so simple. That sigh of relief is naturally, like, you can feel the tension just, it's so easy.
Letting that stress out.
Yeah, you do 1% of that, 200 to 300 breaths a day. How good do you think you're going to feel? How good do you think your mind's going to feel? You can literally change your state. I did a class last night. I had 10 people up from Scotland, and I did a 30-second exercise with them, and they was all like, I feel so calm, I feel so relaxed. So it just shows you how quickly you can just take a breath in. And when you release the exhale, you let go. When you actually release and you let go and you relax at the same time, the whole body and your nervous system goes, It's so simple. So simple. If we get people to breathe, even your children, you get your children to breathe, within one generation we'll eradicate sickness and anxiety.
I think this is a really important question, or sort of point that you brought up there. Actually educating the youth to start this, even meditation. I think they are starting to bring it in more in schools, like
I'm seeing it now. It's really, really, really powerful. I wish I'd had that in school.
Yeah,
but I don't think I had anxiety. Did you have anxiety in school?
I
don't think I did.
I
was
don't
always
think
out.
so.
I was out, doing everything. I don't know what anxiety was then, but now every kid is like, I've got anxiety, especially teenagers.
Yeah, but it's too easy to label now. That's the thing.
Yes.
It's too easy to just, they almost, a lot of kids want to be ticked and put in a box.
Yeah.
It's as if it's almost attention.
Yeah, it is a little.
Like it's, it's quite scary. Why does want that? Like,
funny enough, all kids now have got anxiety. They've all got this ADHD, which is another label.
Yeah. Massively, yeah.
It's like, don't get me wrong, kids who've got ADHD, they're not just, it's not something wrong with them, they've got a gift. They're actually here because they've got a gift. So the children of the world now are here to raise the vibration of the planet. And they've actually got a very, very, very powerful gift. You've got to find out what that gift is. When you find that gift, hone in on it. There's no such thing as ADHD. When you hone in on it.
Yeah. Just use it, utilise it.
Yeah. So you're finding they've got a gift. They're basically, they're not being stimulated to their brain's capacity. So their neurons are not firing and wiring at certain things. So they're doing certain elements, like they're going to school and they're like, this is boring me. So they're playing up. But if you can find something that stimulates their neurons and you get the neurons firing and wiring together for them, they will come alive. Most of it's music, creative sources. You find a lot of kids with ADHD too, they find music, they play music. Senses open. They become this genius. The genius is within them, and it's like finding that. And the breath is a key to helping people change that as well.
I'm all over this. I'm going to join a couple of your sessions. Come and get involved.
Absolutely, I'd love to take you for a session. But even just before we started, I did a little bit of breath work with you on your fascia, on your ankle, right? And how's that feeling now?
Yeah, better. Yeah.
I haven't heard you cough either. We did a little bit of
it's
work.
Been a bit better, yeah. Again, it's, I know my biggest, my worst trait is I can hear my body screaming, and I'm too fucking busy to deal with it. Yeah. There's always, and I'm not prioritising
you got to
my
really
own.
listen.
Yeah. Before something happens,
of course, the body's signalling you, so it's like, and all of a sudden it'll keep signaling you, and
then something major happens, and
So, but the more we can work with the breath, we can work with the body, taking conscious breaths through the day. Have 5 minutes of breathing when you wake up in the morning. Connect to your breath.
I actually downloaded.
So simple.
There's a really good app. It's a YouTube app, and it's just got a line, and you breathe in when it goes up.
Yeah, amazing.
Hold it as it goes across, and then you breathe out.
So you're a very, very successful businessman. You've got a breathing technique.
Yeah. And I'll put that on in the morning, or maybe at night, or I'll meditate. I say I meditate. I put on sleep meditation to help me sleep.
Yeah, nice.
And I do find
helps.
I go one or two ways. I either get 2 hours in and I'm wide awake like this.
Last night,
I'm
3 o'clock
free
in
down,
the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was still awake. I was like, I've got to be up early tomorrow. I think my brain knew.
Yeah, yeah. Or other times I put one on and I don't get more than 10 seconds in, and I find there's so much going on in my brain that as soon as it will concentrate on something that is set to help me, it just turns me off.
Yeah. So if you're suffering with anxiety, you want to breathe really slow. So I like to count it and breathe in for 7, out for 7. So you come all the way up the spine, and then back down. So what we have at the bottom of the spine is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest, rest and renew. So when we're stressed, we're in the upper chest. This is a sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight and flight, so emotions and feelings. But if we can come down and we can breathe here, breathe into the ribs, and you just feel the ribs expand, and you feel the energy coming up. It's really slow. You will calm your mind down in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, couple of breaths, very calm, very relaxed. And again, if you need energy, you can go in and you go the other way. It's like some quicker breaths. And again, you're energizing yourself. So if you're feeling fatigued, have a couple of breaths, feel alive.
Nice.
Yeah. So disease of the body is lack of oxygen. So if there's any disease in the body, you've got lack of oxygen. So if you can breathe into that body, you can breathe into that point of where you might have a bit of sickness, you will clear that.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's something that grabbed me a few years ago, and it's like I think I'd done something with Ross, with our friend Ross Mack.
Yeah.
And we done it was Jesus. This was I think in between lockdown 1 and 2. we done Run Grateful with Mark White. You might know Mark, good friend of mine. I love Mark. And that was when I first done a breathwork session, and also I think I nearly died that day because I actually caught COVID and had COVID pneumonia, and it literally ruined me. Like hospitalised, I was at home dying for 12 days, in hospital for 5.
Again,
that's another story.
That's where breath can really come in and help people with that. Not this Christmas before I come down with bad flu, but a lot of people would probably say it was COVID. But I just literally went into a breathwork session for an hour, come out, gone.
Yeah, nice.
So as soon as you feel your body's
deal with it, listen to it.
Yeah, as soon as you feel that I'm getting a little bit sick, or I'm not sick, I'm healing, or I'm empowering myself, I'm discovering myself, I'm flushing everything out, I'm releasing this. I'm going to go on a mat, I'm just going to lay there, I'm going to breathe.
At the minute, I hear it crying, and I go, shh.
Okay, so we need to
not yet, maybe tomorrow.
We need to do some work with you right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Close your arms for a minute. Let's breathe. Close your arms. Let's get rid of this right now. Come on.
We'll do this off camera.
This is the men thing. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. No. Suppress it.
So I'm more worried about someone listening on audio and they wonder what's going on. They'll scan to the end. Just hear 2 geezers heavy breathing. I know also you've just bought a book out, so tell us about the book.
Yes, I'm very excited. So it's taken me 2 years to write. It started off with about 50 chapters, nearly 400 odd pages, lots and lots of studying, research, back and forth. But I've now literally gone, well, the hard copy and the ebook has gone live this week, and the paperback goes live Monday, so I needed to check the paperback first.
What's it called?
It's called Pure Breathwork, A Breath Journey to Liberation. So it's all about my life traumas, all my stories, how I've helped people, how it's helped me, how it's saved my life, literally. It's a training manual for people that want to know more about breathwork, how to beat anxiety and stress, and how to clear trauma. It's got a bit of everything, really.
Yeah.
It's like... but I managed to get it down to just under 200 pages, and it is. I've even started reading it myself. I've written it, and I started reading it myself the other night. I was like, "This is actually quite interesting." I just opened it up. I was like, "I forgot I wrote that."
Yeah.
I forgot I wrote that. So yeah, it's literally up on Amazon now. And to think from where I've come from, and everything. I used to hate school as well. Like, back in school, if I ever thought I'd be writing a book.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. And it just felt right. I've actually started my second one already.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've started. Because I had so much content left over. I was like, I'm going to start putting that into another book. So I started that already. But yeah, so the book is Pure Breathwork, which is my brand. So you can catch me on Instagram for that.
Is that just at Pure Breathwork?
Yeah, at Pure Breathwork. So I do 2 live classes every week as well, and I've been doing this for years and years. And I was just like, I've got so many sessions, I've got so many lists. I was like, if I can put this into a book and make it a training manual also for my students who come to me for the academy. Also, I can get it out there and hopefully help people all over the world start to breathe better. There's actually a section in there called Parental Responsive Breathing. So teaching the parents how to teach the kids how to breathe.
Love that.
And you breathe together. Really, it's a very short chapter, but it's powerful as well. Because I was basically at a retreat one day, and there was all like a family retreat working, and there was all these kids running around, and the parents couldn't handle it. So I was like, right, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to design something for you to control your kids.
Yeah.
And that was how it was born.
That's where the school systems it fails for me. That's teach kids about taxes and mortgages and breath work and looking after himself rather than fucking isosceles triangles that no one's ever used. No one's ever used.
I think that's why I hated the school system as well. Like, teach me life. I've learned more out of school than I did.
Yeah, there
school.
should be a little segment in there that just, you know, at school where they just run through. Look, this is how your credit score works. This is this is that. Like,
well, I don't know teach you that, but so different subjects altogether.
We're literally wrapping up there anyway. Go on.
So the book is out now. You can go to Amazon and get that Pure a breath journey to liberation. And the Academy, if anyone else is interested in wanting to become a breathwork facilitator, what I've done, I've opened up a free course as well, because there was a couple of courses I wanted to go on I couldn't afford.
Right, okay.
And that inspired me. I was like, what if I do something to give something people back? And then there was another course I did I found was free, and it was really powerful as well. So I got really inspired by that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give something back. So if people want to go in, check it out, they can go and do the free breathwork course. And then it's mainly for people who are healers and already doing the work. But apply, put yourself in, and then if you resonate with it, well, we'll get you in.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah, and then what we do, after that, I like to, on my courses, I've got bespoke courses. So a lot of people are like, this is my course. Boom, 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 boom. And I've done so many of them, I was like...
You want one designed for you, bespoke.
It was, some of them wasn't quite resonating with me. So I'm like, so now I bespoke my courses specifically to your needs. That way I know you're going to get stimulated, you're going to learn, and you're going to grow, because it's going to help you in everything you need. And no one else is doing that.
Niche in the market again. Look, you're early.
Yeah, no one's
again.
No one's doing that.
Yeah.
So it's quite a thing, a nice thing. I'm offering to people, and people get a lot of training within my courses as well. So.
Yeah, blinding, mate. Listen, I love this today. It's been been educational. Quite a few different chapters, like a little onion. Quite a few different layers there. I think it's been brilliant. It's been educational, and I'm sure we'll see each other very soon when
can't wait.
you can work out how to sort this body out.
We can definitely do it. I'll have a good guy. I'll have a good guy.
Joby, thanks for coming in, mate.
Thank you.
Top man.
Thank you
Top
so
man.
much.